Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this week's travel talk. Before we get started, I just want to warn you, we are having a thunderstorm right now. So if I happen to just disappear, it's because we've lost power. But hopefully that won't happen and our little thunderstorm will pass quickly. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Marianne Southall. I am the founder of the Women's Travel Club. And as usual, I am joined by Brittany from our office. She is monitoring the chat. So as we go on our talk, if you have any questions or comments, you can feel free to pop them into the chat and Britt can try and answer them right away, or you can save them to the end. And then we can either open up the mic for you to come on and talk, or we can read off your question and answer it as best we can. We are recording the presentation, so if you would like to watch it again, or if you have to leave early, we will have the recording done, or if you want to send it to a friend, you can do that too. We will send a link to the presentation after, shortly after. It takes a little bit because we have to get up on YouTube and such, but then we will send you a link to the presentation. So let's dive into this amazing tour, and we're going to see why it is one of the Women's Travel Club's most popular tours every year. Some tours that we have are about visiting famous landmarks and what you will see. This tour is very much about what you will do. You're going to sleep in the world famous Ice Hotel, chase the Northern Lights, ride through snowy forests by Husky sled, meet reindeer, discover the Sámi culture, explore the Arctic by snowmobile, and sleep underneath the stars in a glass igloo. We start our journey in Stockholm, and then as we continue, the journey is split into three major locations. So in Stockholm, we stay one night before our early morning flight out to Lapland. So this is kind of a logistical night, just because with all the international flights are going to come into Stockholm, and we have kind of a forced overnight before we can do the morning flight out to Lapland. So the hotel we stay in is right at the airport. It's very convenient for the flight in and out. You can just walk to it. It's kind of right across the street from the main terminal, so it's logistically super easy to get to. However, if you're interested in spending some extra time in Stockholm, which we can certainly help you arrange with the pre-tour package, I would suggest a hotel in the city center. It's just going to make more sense for sightseeing in Stockholm itself. And so then so we leave Stockholm. We have a short flight the next morning, and from there we go to the Ice Hotel. This is the authentic first Ice Hotel. It's in Sweden, and from there we do transfer by land to the Nordic Lapland Resort, which we're going to stay at for 3 nights, and then our final kind of destination for this tour is going to be Apukka Resort for 3 nights. We're now in Finland, and then we fly back to Helsinki. Again, a logistical one night in Helsinki just before your flight's out. And if you wanted to spend some more time in Helsinki, we can also help with that. Each of these resorts we visit are quite different in both the feel of the resort and the activities that they offer. So in the next few slides, we'll explore what the resorts have and the activities that we will experience. One of the most extraordinary places on this journey is going to be spending 2 nights at the world-famous Ice Hotel. Every winter, artists from around the world come here to create a brand new hotel entirely from snow and ice. No 2 years are ever exactly the same, making every visit to this hotel very unique. You will spend one night in a cold room, which is made entirely of ice. It's quite the experience. Each room has a fur-covered bed and individual sleeping bags. So if you are sharing, you will have kind of one big ice bed, but from there you'll have your own individual sleeping bags on the bed. The next night you're in a regular hotel room, so you would have two beds in that hotel room. This resort, the whole resort is so unique and beautiful, and just having 2 days to kind of explore and see everything that the resort has to offer is going to be quite special. So our first full day in Lapland, we're going to do one of the most authentic cultural experiences of the whole journey. It's a visit with the indigenous Sámi people. The Sámi are the original inhabitants of northern Scandinavia, with a history that stretches back thousands of years across what is now known as northern Norway, Sweden, Finland, and parts of Russia. Long before modern borders existed, they were living in harmony with the Arctic landscape, following the seasons and caring for vast herds of reindeer. Today, while many Sámi people live modern lives, they continue to preserve their language, traditions, and deep connection to the land. Reindeer herding remains an important part of their culture, and it's considered one of the oldest living indigenous cultures in Europe. During our visit, we'll meet the reindeer, have a chance to feed them, and enjoy a traditional reindeer sled ride through the snowy landscape. Then we'll gather inside a traditional Sámi tent around a warm fire where we'll enjoy coffee or tea along with the tasting of soivas, a traditional smoked reindeer meat that's prepared using methods passed down through generations. More importantly, we'll have the opportunity to hear directly from our hosts about their way of life, their traditions, and how Sámi culture continues to thrive here in the Arctic today. It's one of those experiences that gives you a much deeper appreciation for Lapland than simply admiring the scenery. Then we'll return to the Ice Hotel for a wonderful, authentic Lapland dinner. That evening, after dinner, we'll head into the Arctic wilderness for one of the experiences everybody's been waiting for, our Northern Lights photography tour. We'll leave the lights of town behind and travel to locations chosen specifically because they offer some of the best opportunities to witness the aurora borealis. Even if you've never taken a night photograph before, don't worry. Our guide will show us how to adjust the settings on our cameras or smartphones to capture the northern lights. They'll also help us with composition and finding the best angles, so hopefully you'll head home with some incredible photos and memories. So what actually causes the northern lights? The sun is constantly sending tiny charged particles out into space, known as the solar wind. When those particles reach Earth, our planet's magnetic field guides them toward the north and south poles. As they collide with gases high in our atmosphere, they release energy in the form of light, creating those beautiful ribbons of green, purple, and sometimes even red that dance across the night sky. No two displays are ever the same. Sometimes they're soft and gentle, and other nights they seem to ripple and dance from one horizon to the other. That's part of what makes seeing the aurora so magical. We'll have several opportunities throughout the trip to look for northern lights, but this guided photography tour is a wonderful introduction and gives us our chance to experience one of nature's most spectacular shows. After 2 unforgettable nights at the Ice Hotel, we continue our journey into Finnish Lapland and settle into our home for the next 3 nights, the beautiful Nordic Lapland Resort. One of the things I really love about this resort is the setting. It's tucked away in the heart of Lapland, surrounded by snow-covered forests and overlooking a peaceful lake. It's quiet, relaxing, and feels wonderfully removed from the hustle of every day. Unlike the Ice Hotel, which is all about the experience of sleeping in a hotel made of snow and ice, the Nordic Lapland Resort offers the warmth and comfort of cozy private cabins. It's a perfect place to relax after a day of Arctic adventures. The resort has wonderful gathering spaces where you can enjoy cooked dinner together, share stories from the day, and perhaps warm up with a cocktail or a hot drink by the fire. This becomes our base for the next few days as we explore more of Lapland, and I think you'll quickly find it feels less like a hotel and more like a little winter retreat. This tour is truly full of unique and cool experiences. Each one of these experiences is unlike anything you will see or do anywhere else in the world. Our next experience is one that really sets this tour apart. It's an afternoon aboard a polar icebreaker. If you've ever seen an icebreaker in action, it's truly impressive. These ships are specially built to keep northern shipping routes open during the long Arctic winter. Using their enormous weight and power, they break through the thick sea ice that would stop an ordinary vessel in its tracks. During our cruise, we'll have the opportunity to tour the ship, visit the captain's bridge, look into the engine room, and learn how these remarkable vessels operate. As we make our way across the frozen sea, the crew shares fascinating stories about life aboard on an icebreaker and the important role they play in this part of the world. But the real highlight comes when the ship stops and opens a pool in the ice. For anyone feeling adventurous, you'll have the chance to put on a specially designed thermal survival suit and actually float in the icy waters of the Arctic. It might sound freezing, but their survival suits are incredibly buoyant and insulated. You're completely dry and surprisingly warm. In fact, most people come back laughing because it's such a strange feeling. You'll simply can't sink. You'll just float effortlessly while surrounded by the frozen sea. It's one of those experiences that very few people ever get to say they've done, and it's certainly one you'll be talking about long after you return home. And this isn't the only opportunity you'll have to float in the Arctic Sea. In Finland, you will also have another opportunity to do this at night and hopefully see the northern lights while you're doing it. So it'll make it even more special. The next morning, we trade the power of the icebreaker for the peaceful beauty of the Arctic wilderness as we head out on a guided snowshoe adventure. One of the wonderful things about snowshoeing is that almost anyone can do it. If you can walk, you can snowshoe. It allows us to venture into places that would be difficult to reach on foot during the winter months. As we make our way through the snow-covered forest, our guide will point out local wildlife, explain the landscape changes with the seasons, and introduce us to unique plants and trees that thrive in this Arctic environment. One of the things you'll notice is just how incredibly quiet it is. The fresh snow blankets the landscape, creating a peaceful stillness that's difficult to describe until you've experienced it for yourself. It's one of those moments where you simply stop, take a breath, and appreciate being surrounded by nature. Along the way, we'll pause around a crackling fire for a traditional Swedish fika. If you've never heard of a fika, it's much more than just a coffee break. In Sweden, it's a cherished tradition of slowing down, enjoying a warm drink and a sweet treat, and taking time to relax and connect with the people around you. It's a perfect way to warm up, share stories from the morning, and simply enjoy the magic of being in the Arctic. For our final 3 nights in Lapland, we move on to what many people consider the highlight of the entire journey, Apukka Resort. Nestled among peaceful forests, and Apukka is one of Finland's premier Arctic resorts, designed specifically to immerse guests in the beauty of Lapland while offering all the comforts of a luxury getaway. While the resort offers wonderful dining, cozy lounges, and a wide range of Arctic adventures, there's one feature that makes it truly unforgettable. It's the glass igloos. Imagine climbing into bed at the end of an incredible day, pulling up the blankets, and looking through a heated panoramic glass roof at a sky filled with stars. If Mother Nature decides to cooperate, you may not even have to leave your room to watch the northern lights dance overhead. The glass roofs are heated to help keep the view clear, so there's nothing between you and the Arctic sky. It's one of those rare travel experiences that really does live up to the photographs. Even if the aurora doesn't appear, simply lying in bed watching the stars above you in silence of the Arctic is something you'll never forget. Apukka is the perfect place to finish our Lapland adventure. We've experienced the excitement of the ICEHOTEL, explored the Arctic wilderness, learned about local culture, and now we have 3 relaxing nights to soak it all in while staying in one of the world's most unique accommodations. During our time at Apukka, we'll have an exciting and fun activity, a husky safari through the Arctic wilderness. Before we head out, we'll spend some time meeting our team of Alaskan Huskies. These dogs absolutely love to do what they do. In fact, they're usually barking and jumping around with excitement because they know it's almost time to run. Our guide will introduce us to the dogs, explain how they're cared for, and share a little about the long history of dog sledding, which has been an essential way of traveling across the Arctic for centuries. Then it's our turn to climb aboard the sleds. From the moment the brake is released, everything changes. The barking stops, the dogs become completely focused, and suddenly you're gliding through the snow-covered forest of Finnish Lapland. There's something incredibly peaceful about it. You'll hear the runners sliding over the snow, the sound of the dog's paws, and little else. It's a completely different way to experience the Arctic landscape. As we travel through the forest and open snowy landscapes, it's easy to understand why dog sledding remained such an important part of life in the North for generations. And when the ride is over, there's time to thank our 4-legged guides with plenty of pats and photographs before we return to the resort. Whilst we're staying at Apukka Resort, you also have the opportunity to visit the famous Santa Claus Village if you'd like. It's just a short shuttle ride from Apukka Resort. The shuttle does have a cost. It's around €8 per person. You can meet Santa, browse the charming shops, enjoy a coffee or lunch, and visit Santa's main post office, where letters arrive from children all over the world. If you'd like, you can even send postcards home with an official Arctic Circle postmark. It's a fun place to spend a few hours if you're looking for a little Christmas magic, whether you want to shop for Finnish souvenirs across the Arctic Circle or simply soak up the atmosphere. It's a very memorable place to visit. Our final full day on Lapland begins with one of the more unforgettable Arctic adventures as we head out on a guided snowmobile safari. We will be supplied with snowsuits for this adventure, and then after a safety briefing and getting comfortable with the snowmobiles, we'll set off across frozen lakes and winding forest trails, exploring some of the most spectacular winter landscapes in Finnish Lapland. Snowmobiling is one of the most popular ways for locals to travel through during the winter, and it's easy to understand why. The trails take us into areas that are otherwise difficult to reach, giving us a chance to experience the beauty and vastness of the Arctic wilderness. Along the way, we'll stop at a frozen lake where we'll try another authentic Finnish tradition, ice fishing. Our guide will show us how to drill through the thick ice before we drop our lines into the icy water below. Whether you catch a fish or not, it isn't really the point, although it would be great to catch a fish. It's about slowing down, taking in the silence, and experiencing a pastime that's been part of life in Lapland for generations. We'll warm up with hot coffee and tea served beside the lake, surrounded by nothing but snow-covered forests and the peaceful stillness of the Arctic. It's a perfect way to end our Lapland adventure, combining a little excitement, a little tradition, and one last opportunity to appreciate the incredible beauty of this remarkable place in the world. Okay, so let's take a moment to go over everything included in this amazing adventure. We stay in 3 completely different Arctic accommodations, including the world-famous ICEHOTEL and 3 unforgettable nights in a glass igloo. We'll enjoy daily breakfast, most of our dinners, and all of our transportation throughout the journey, including the internal flights. But what really makes this tour special are the experiences. This isn't a sightseeing trip. It's a collection of once-in-a-lifetime adventures. From meeting the Sámi people and reindeer to floating in the Arctic Ocean, driving snowmobiles, riding with the Huskies, cruising on an icebreaker, snowshoeing through pristine forests, chasing the northern lights, and sleeping beneath them in your own glass igloo. When you put it all together, this really is one of the most immersive Arctic journeys we've ever offered. So here's the pricing of the tour. Right now, we do have an early booking bonus on. It does end July 30th. So we are coming up on that pretty close. What's today's date? It's the 21st. So we have about 9 more days to take advantage of that. And that is $500. So it's a pretty good bonus. So with the bonus right now, sharing is $10,399 US, and single occupancy is $13,499 US. I know the price is a little bit up there, but to go to this part of the world it's pre-extreme travel, and so it does come with a little bit of a price tag for it, but I can tell you it is worth every penny. The tour is limited to 16 guests, and it typically does sell out every year. So if you're interested, it's not something you want to delay on. And that is the end of our little presentation on this. I hope everybody enjoyed it, found it interesting to learn a bit about Northern Lapland and what we kind of do up there. We do have our contact information here. Did anybody have any questions? Oh, Carolyn, hold on. Oh. You can, if you raise your hand, I can turn it on so you can talk. Hi, Carolyn. I've turned it on so you can talk. You just have to unmute yourself, probably somewhere on your screen.
Unmute. Okay, is that good?
That's good. Hi, Carolyn. How are you?
Hi. I just want to apologize. I was in Hamilton and I got caught in the downpour and I'm late. I'm sorry. I missed the whole thing.
Oh no. Well, I'm glad you're here now. We did record it, so we'll send that to you and you can watch
Thank
it
you.
at your leisure.
Thank you
Um,
so much.
oh, thank you for joining us.
Oh,
Anybody else? Any questions from anybody else? Okay. Well, I don't see anybody raising their hand, but we are definitely here at any point. Has anybody has any questions, please do contact us. We would love to see you on this fantastic adventure. We're very excited for it. So please do let us know if you have any questions or if you would like to book, and we will talk to you soon. Thank you, everybody, for coming out.